Right. Sweet ones, beloveds, the time has come to carry on again. For why not? For how? For why? Why will always get you the same answer. Why not? Why me? Why not you? Why now? Why not now? Why it? Why not it?
Why here?
If you're over the age of 8, you get a why not. Before 8, you get a grandiose explanation of how shit works. If you haven't figured out by 8 that nothing works, you're lost. Where are we?
Carry on.
Carry on at Cush Cafe in Eugene, Oregon. Hi, souls. So, look, everyone's here. Everyone's here. Well, then I better talk some sports, shouldn't I? Yeah. Let's talk some baseball. Let's talk some baseball. Now, before I talk baseball, you see, I'm prepared to talk baseball. I'm talking baseball.
Did the Yankees finally use?
Oh, wait. It's just the end of spring training. April 5th is opening day. That would be a season that goes from April to October with postseason play in November, definitely. My grandfather in the 30s played AAA and above, figure that one out, professional baseball.
Wow.
AAA, of course, is AAA. You're as good as anyone not in the pros. You're as good as the pros because they call you up every now and then, which they did. His name was Clyde Chell, who was a catcher.
Wow.
The catcher is the guy. Now, here's the thing. Next time you're watching baseball, just to prove that I know what I'm talking about, watch the guy walking up to the plate with a big stick of wood. As he makes that walk, he's going to do some kind of little thing.
Yeah.
He's doing something. That is a micro performance. That is his walk to the home plate performance. When he gets to the home plate, the ump says, come on, speed up. He's stalling, he's doing his thing. The catcher is throwing a line of jive and invective at him from underneath that catcher's mask. And it goes like this. Hey, yeah, I like your mama. I liked her all night last night. And your sister was good, too. I like that. Oh, stanky. Yeah, you like that? You can't hit shit, brother. You might as well just walk away, go back to the dugout. And it goes on. And he's making the signal. I got this motherfucker. Give him a fastball down the middle. Or uptight him on the inside. That would be an 80-mile-an-hour ball grazing your knuckles. That'll wake you up, right? So if I was down at least one run in the bottom of the ninth, and I was fortunate enough to get on base, be it balls or a hit, and I'm on base in the bottom of the ninth, I'm on first, there's no outs, I'm down at least one run. What do? Does anyone know baseball? Yes. I steal like a motherfucker. I run for second, the first chance, they look away. As the pitcher makes that wind up, that American thing, he's on the mound, it's just him and the batter and the catcher, and that's all there is. Pitcher, batter, catcher, and then the catcher disappears, and it's just the pitcher at the recoil of unwind, and as he releases that, I'm running to second, and everything is in motion now. The ball is moving toward home plate. The runner is moving toward second. Catcher grabs that fucking thing, throws it to second base, and boom, they nail him.
Oh,
He's out. He's out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's out. He got picked off.
That was you.
No. This is baseball, man.
You think he's gonna play baseball?
Boo. So I come from a baseball family, and this is called On Baseball by Chell. I hardly ever talk baseball. When I do, it is the very final word. Baseball is a right for me, an inheritance, learned at knees, earned in bleachers, long summer nights. Baseball was such a major force in my young life that I never really had to think about it at all. Someone was either watching baseball, listening to baseball, or actually playing baseball all the time, constantly. There was always the drone of a game somewhere in the house or yard, unnoticed, like time itself just there, going on, until you hear the crack of a bat. He smacks that thing deep, 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 and it's out of here. That ball is gone. Then you watched, admired, compared, took notes, always, all summer, childhood. Baseball, of course, is perfect. Therefore, the unforeseen is always happening.
Yeah.
The two ways to build a team are to buy one or build one. We, my family, are old baseball, so the buying thing is gaudy, crass, and quite frankly, no fun. But it does often win. Building a team requires skill, a logistical structure, and time. A manager is a team builder. He waits his whole life for even the chance of having so many things go right in the right sequence at the right time. Scouts, farm team, minor leagues, maybe, but improbable. When a good manager makes all these happen, you have an interesting season. Sometimes a championship season. If that kid from the Dominican Republic doesn't fracture his shin off a hard, fast grounder down the third base line. If he does, whoops, there goes your season. We needed that kid. He was critical to the team. Oh well, maybe next year. Or the next. Or perhaps after that. How much time do we have? Did the season just start, or is it almost finished? Spring training coming up. How does it look? Baseball is generational. It goes beyond the you now to who when. To your grandchild, perhaps, though that kid never talks much baseball.
Oh, right. You're out.
Or you just you stole second, right? You did, and you're out there, or you're on second base. The whole stadium is watching it, right? And you're out there on second. There's no outs. You're the top of you're the base stealer, so it's top of the order, and the next guy comes up to bat, and pitcher's got that guy behind him on second. That is the go-ahead run or the tie. Right? We either tie and keep going, or we win, or we lose. Those are your three options. Ultimately, it's win or lose. And that is it. So you're on second, and the pitcher, I don't know, he gets some heat, and he's throwing jammer. Guy strikes out. You're on second. Okay, one out. But everyone in the stadium knows what just happened. The odds decreased that you're going to cross home plate. Because baseball is all about statistics, right? And everyone has an intuitive sense of the odds of any given play. Of course, the unforeseen is always happening. Next guy comes up. Motherfucking throwing heat, strikes him out. Now, everyone knows that with a man on second, you're down at least one run at the bottom of the ninth, and 2 outs. The odds of him scoring have now become astronomically against. Soldier's up there. He's at the plate. Is he going to bring him home? This would be the go-ahead run at the plate. He's on second. Pitcher looking over his shoulder. Catcher giving him the no. He's sliding and play ball. God damn it!
Oh, man.
Play ball.
More than 7 minutes.
Play ball. Yes,
Don't
yes.
worry.
I
Doesn't
did do
matter.
that, didn't I?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So now that we know the score, because we do know the score, we all know the score.
Yeah.
That's what makes Carry On so fucking awesome. We have
Yeah.
always known the score, and now Carry On is done, and like that, presto. Because I have a strict rule. We've hit our 1 year mark. I have a strict rule with poetry: 1 year on, 1 year off. Never break that rule, kid, because a year of hosting a weekly is enough. Any more than that, and I've got a fucking job. And I'm a poet, goddammit. I don't want a job. Do I get a blue spot? Mood. Red one. All right, we'll leave it white. I just thought there'd be someone on the spotlight during the show. Yeah, I know. Right? That's Steve Martin. Steve Martin had been in showbiz about 22 years at that point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm up here. I'm winging it. I'm trying to give you a good show. I can't get a little help from the backstage crew. Well, excuse me. I'm sorry, but I'm pissed. I'm sorry.
He's just messing with you. There is none of that.
This is way beyond any kind of figuring, unless you're in the dugout, brother. If you're not in the dugout, you're in the bullpen, and no one talks to those guys because they're nuts. They keep their knuckles warm all game by playing hijinks and shit. Everyone in the stands knows what the score is. So let's move on. So I've hit my year mark. This has been awesome. I was intentionally not going to name an heir, a successor, because who could do me? So I'm closing the chapter on Carry On. Now, I did not name an heir, a successor, but someone caught wind of what I was about to do and literally jumped the fuck all over it. I mean, pounded that thing, right? Said, I will not let poetry in Eugene die. And that, of course, was music to my ears. You're willing to go do that? Really? Haven't you learned anything? Haven't you learned any? Okay, well, I was 23 once. Because aren't you lucky? I was just going to say, go figure out for yourself what you do with this time. But oddly enough, someone has stepped forward, and I would like to introduce to you the new poetry reading at Carry On at Cush. Yeah! It is called Page 2, hosted by none other than the obligatory James Otter. Yeah! Carry On is dead. Long live Carry On. Welcome to Page 2. I will be enjoying it from out there in his teeth like a civilized fucking human.
Yes. Yes.
Have fun, man.
Yes. All right. Y'all shut the hell up. I love y'all. Sorry, I'm kidding. You guys can keep being nice to each other. Anyway, I wrote this at like 3 a.m, desperately trying to figure out what the fuck to write. It's incredibly personal. So guess what? It's against everything I normally do here. All right. So I'll read it in my dramatic voice. With the future in mind, I have taken this time to write a special poem for a dear friend in Powerhouse, Mr. Chell. 1 year ago, he founded this weekly poetry open mic. And to this day, it is the only weekly poetry open mic in all of Eugene and most definitely Lane County. This place has been a conduit of self-expression ever since April 2014, and I want to keep the legend going. That should go with no further explanation. If you don't know why a legend of this caliber needs to continue, you clearly need help in your own life. Cush Cafe has provided a place for me and many other poets to unleash our abilities. The variety of styles of poetry extends beyond anything I have ever experienced at any of the countless poetry slams and open mix I have come across. This town needs us. We bring variety and new ideas. We bring unseen talent to the light. We inspire others to keep writing and keep doing. Kit has worked very hard for this place. And I, James Otter, will take this weight.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time I was on this stage. I was shaking like a leaf from stage fright, and also because I was very hungry. Since then, I have only improved. Every week was better than the last, and even on the quiet nights when it's cold out, I still kept coming, and I still brought my best. Carry On has seen full houses, no houses, and even a time when it was so scorchingly hot, I felt like I was performing inside an oven. That didn't stop me or anybody else from giving it their all. Kit gave all performers words of encouragement and kept us alert and on edge, a good edge. Without Kit, there would be no weekly open mic poetry. There would be no hard knock skin jazz poetry epic. And Cush Cafe would be much different without his influence. I am greatly honored, beyond any other honor thus far, to become a protege for the next chapter of Cush poetry. I started out as a young, stalwart little fucker, going to open mics, listening to various styles of slam poetry. Now the tables turn in my favor. A wonderful responsibility awaits me and you. Keep coming to Cush Poetry, keep writing and creating. You have an audience. Goodbye, Kit. You and your larger-than-life presence will be greatly missed.
Yeah.
Thank you. That being said, Celine, come on up to the stage. Enter through the poetry slot.
I am so glad to catch Kit on his last day here, or last night here. I have something to read and a story to tell, so this should be interesting. I'll tell my story first. It's called The Journey Through the Desert. I was visiting my aunt and my uncle and my father in the desert, Salton Sea, in Los Angeles area. There was a little trailer and an old truck sitting there in the desert. There's a fish pond filled with fish. My father was putting a little bush on top of the VW bug. And he said, "Catch this." I looked up and I saw an axe. It hit the side of the bug, the VW bug, and it dented it. Scared the hell out of me. So I ran through the desert. There was trees surrounding me, and I ran and ran and ran deep into the desert. I got to this place where I saw these beings. There was 12 of them surrounding me. I sat down, made a circle around myself, and meditated. I wasn't scared. They put everything into my mind that humanity has done. Evil things. Every single thought, every single thing that had ever been thought by humanity. A rush came to me in my mind. Visions of wars, of blood, of Nazis killing. Genghis Khan, everything that you can imagine ran through my mind. I got up from my circle and ran into the desert. I looked up and I saw a star, and it pulsated and it turned into a ship and back into a star and back into a ship and back into a star. I said, "Get me off this planet. Take me from this planet. I'm tired of this place." And I was in fear. I ran and ran and ran, and I saw this outline of an old man and an old woman. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I ran and ran, and I saw this bush, and it was lit up, and it went whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here?" And then I ran and ran and ran and ran. And then all of a sudden, I saw two shadows in the desert. I said, "Please, God, don't let them be dead." I went up to the shadows and I saw this goddess wrapped around a tree. She went, shh. I looked down and I saw an Egyptian body, an Egyptian man and woman. I saw an animal, a pig-like animal, on the sand. I looked down and I saw coral-colored pictures making up the Egyptian man and woman. I looked down and saw this head of a lion, colored coral pictures. I touched the lion's head and it disappeared into the sand. I said, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was night, and then it was day, and it was night and day. I was lost out in the desert. I found my way back to the trailer and went to sleep. Hallucinations can be real.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Good for you.
And hopefully my 7 minutes is enough. I'm going to say
You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right. Woo! Throughout the chronicles of time, men have been at war with each other. Before humanity as we know it, there was nothing. A dark void, a plane of existence that was unimaginable. No stars, no nebulas, no dark holes, no planets, no living beings. From the void came a sentient energy. This energy grew into a spark that ignited into a flame. The dream of life had begun. From obscurity became solidity. Imagination on different planes of existence formed. One living consciousness. Existence became formed into the dream. Colors swirled and magic came out of the flames. Images like holographics became stars, planets, beings of all walks of life. Everything was one united life force. Thank you, Kit.
Well, that was a very lovely journey we just went on. Thank you, Celine. Chell.
Stick up for Celine one more time. All right, next up is Steven. Enter through the poetry slot.
Ooh, I am never going to get tired of saying that.
Thank you, kid, for the year. It's been really special for all of us. I've been on a writing frenzy lately, so here's 3 new ones. Perpetual Prophets, or The Season of Sickness Engulfed Us. The jets made lines in the sky, and a clear blue day became a cloudy one. Not long after that, the season of sickness engulfed us. It was not bad enough to be fatal, just enough to keep us mildly sick for lengthy periods of time, repeatedly. Not like the head colds of yesterday that would disappear in a day or two. These lingered for weeks, with coughs that lingered for months. The tissue companies, pharmaceutical and cold medicine companies, hospitals, clinics, and doctors all made lots of money with full houses the whole season. Was this really the reason for the long lines in our clear blue sky? To make perpetual profits, just like the perpetual wars that now seem to haunt our future? I remember when they started making cars, clothes, and appliances with built-in obsolescence. You see, things used to be made to last a lifetime. And that was no good for profits. Better to make things wear out in predetermined time periods for the good of the few and to keep the rest underfoot. If you live long enough. I may be old, but let me tell you something. This is your future. Look at me. This is what you all have to look forward to if you live long enough. Tendinitis, colonoscopies, endoscopies, diabetes, hearing aids, acid reflux, blurred vision and eyeglasses, the sound of multiple bone joints clicking. It's all in your future if you live long enough. As you get older, your body wears out, just like a car engine. You lose the oiliness in your skin, and so things start slipping through your fingers and falling on the floor, and it will piss you off. You forget where you put your car keys and where you went out to dinner last week. The act of multitasking becomes more difficult. So if you are focusing on other thoughts, you forgot if you washed all your body parts in the shower, or why you just came upstairs. All of this starts happening if you live long enough. And if it is already happening, congratulations. There is no avoiding it. This is what is in store for all of us who are alive because we are alive. So you can tease about it, you can make fun of it, you can ridicule it and think it is absurd, but this is your future if you live long enough. You'll be a silver-haired, handsome devil just like me. So if this is your future, hey, it ain't so bad if you live long enough. And finally, am I okay on time?
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, this is a 2-minute one. In this catching, you look to me like somebody throwing up roses, a prescient and perceptive human being. You look to me like someone who doesn't do poses, a peachy skinned presence of fascination. I catch your alluring demeanor, the glow of your wondering gaze, your fetching yet spare inclination to sing that shines through my wallowing haze. I wonder what brings you to center, to spring up and be at this moment we're in. I hope in this catching, you'll let me slip up to the magic that swallows your sin.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Stephen Blue, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, where's my car keys? Oh, wait. I took the bus. Dude, where's that bus? Anyway, Michael, come on up to the stage and give Stephen another round of applause and another round of applause for Michael.
Michael!
Oh, yeah. This is called Cush Cafe in Eugene, Oregon. We're on page 2.
We're on page 2.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like Stephen, I wanted to mention, Kit, thank you very much for the year you gave this year. And, something that wasn't mentioned as well is that we don't slam poetry here. This is a place where everybody gets to come do their deal. We don't judge each other, criticize each other. You can come here and let it go. Get up here and bring it. That's the spirit of the event. Hopefully it'll stay in the spirit of the event. And I you know, I have a poem that's about the slamming, the poem that I've slammed. This one isn't, but it's the next level. Because it's hipster slam. How cool is your rule? Do the clothes you're wrapped up in meet up with your rap, man? Hipster slam, taking that poetic justice to the extreme, even if it seems mean. After it's read, it's all said. Hipster slam. The hippie reincarnated into yuppie. Reincarnated into hipster. Reincarnated into slickster.
Oh, man.
Hipster slam, phantasmagoric, esoteric, allegoric, historic, rhetoric, euphoric, organic. Hipster slam, looking good, like you should. To carry the essence of presence, so all can be seeing what you'll be in.
All right.
Hipster slam, hipsters judging, tripsters judging, tricksters judging, brothers and sisters. Hipster slam, complete, conceit, repeat, far in, far out, far about nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Ego, ergo. Oh, we go way out, man. Hipster slam, clever thieves, too many chiefs. Debriefed, chasing the rush in the hush of audience attention, retention. Hipster slam, catching the mood, do get to be rude. Flash your stash, take the cash. Drink your stink, don't think. Hipster slam, self-defined universe in verse. Rehearse, reimburse. Lay it all out there. Lay it all down. Spread it all over this fucking town. Cause you can't take back what you're acting out when you're in a hipster slam. Peace out.
No, this is not a poetry slam. And this is definitely not a sidewalk slam.
It's a
But-
Michael, man.
What?
Michael. Yeah.
Let's give it up for Michael! All right, and let's also give it up for Porcupine. Enter through the poetry slot.
Keep on clapping while you stop. Clap even harder. Even harder. Come on, in your
I just love it.
We love it here at Cush Cafe, don't we? Yeah, don't we?
So,
Diamond-eyed pig bastards.
I
I don't give a shit. All right. You'll dig up those truffles for me, won't you? Give me that sweet meat. Run. Run as hard as you can. Don't stop. Fight it. Change it. Be different. Run. The phrases rambled as they were pounded into his mind. The grass ripping at his legs could be seen through his closed eyes as he let the rhythm of his mind stamp his feet. Run! Run! Push into the future. Stamp yourself into confusion. Pelt! Open them now. Far from home, clear as day, what can be seen? Same. I am on top of a hill at dusk. Fawn-colored grass reaches for his knees and grips the tree line for miles. The rolling hills over and over again. The world is so stubbornly new, turning over again, dented on the bumps. He squints to see the specifics as he isn't on new frontier. His heart is strangely unsteady. He thinks to himself, is this living? I had nightmares rambling in the dark. I shook at all I perceived. I cannot fathom life properly or what it is to be coherent, and it frightens me. He had not slept easy. He never would. The uneasy fit of his bones pushed his innards against his skin, his heart bound in his chest, and his breath forced and strained. He twitched and whispered at night, what would become of him? He thought he knew. He thought he could just understand. He thought he knew who he was. She was? It was. Whatever. What it wanted. Who she wanted. What she believed in. The question comes seeping from her pores. Answers are permanent like regrets, so we'll take our time. Let problems pool and take from the shores. Try not to let them flood you. Take it day to day. Smart kid pressure with a deadline. Due on time. It doesn't even have a name for itself now, but it's still the only mask for change passes by. The dimension of meaning and cause flows constantly beyond her eyes. Life has woven itself around time, dragging her along. Push or pull on life, struggle in the moment till it is cut. You grip life and climb to the newest of bounds till there is nothing left but gripping hands. Breathe somber pleasure to your reflection in the eternal cosmos till you sink below the surface. Is this living? Run. Run faster than anyone. Never look back. Never look back at all you could have been or fear that you will be. They ramble on about the difference as he will withdraw into his mind. Good people, but would they get it? Could they? Secrets are like that. He was like that. She was like that. Recognizing the cold calculations and the childish absorption, he fell out the personal failure. He felt out his regrets, his dysphoria, the bipolar roller coaster the best he could, like a river rock. Got dirt on his hands, close and personal, till the niche was traced and he flipped. Dirt and mud, shiny stone, the garden snakes scatter with the bugs. The worms worm like worms will, digging into the dirt, digging into time, niching themselves. This intricate new side, patiently stating her breakdown. Depression is remembering, anxiety is planning. Boys are lost, girls are pressured. Together you will think, together you will build, together you will confuse who you are, and you will spend the days in recklessness and restlessness. Without this separation, here she stood in the mirror, her strong jaw, the Adam's apple, pink plastic lips, and her mother's sundress. This new side, she had dug into time. She had dug into herself, and she divided into worms. The worms will worm. The worms will say, fuck you and love you in existing. The worms carry on. Thank you.
Let's give them some more love. Let's give them another round of applause. Because it just reminded me of something. You know, those worms, one of these days, they're going to worm their way back into my life. Anyway, who cares? Mano, come on up here. Give it up for Mano! Come on, give it all up. I want all of it, damn it. All of it. I love you. Thank you.
Kit, Ribbit. Merci pour tout. And James, I love you, man.
I love you too. You rock.
River, other. We're alive. I hope there is battery enough. I'm not going till the end, if not. It's called Why. Yeah, it's presumptuous, but it'll be fine. We used to be one, we used to be whole. We used to be none, but existence known. Life blowing the void, we picked an asteroid to take the form of a living world, and we did evolve. We split ourselves, multiply ourselves, to become flora, to become fauna. From God itself to the dinosaurs, we became man, who they call Adam. We reproduced through flesh and produced in a flash. We created life and divided to be, to dispose of the elements combined, and we made our bones out of chemicals, carbons, cause to exist as one, we needed to be multiple. We consume time, but we know deep inside we are more than just space, so we destroy, contaminate water, air, fire, and ground, kill every animal, each other, while we communicate at the speed of light on being good or evil. And everyone's death, we grow to be once again all together. We extract the wealth provided by Earth in order to have consistency, in order to have power. One wants to be one and doesn't want to be but spiritual. The other wants to be without being one, but we cannot decide which one is right or not. And exhaustion has come and soon will be gone. So before the big turn, we would need to gather. We would need to return back to where we were. Thus, we used words, beginning with the verb, to remember ourselves where we are from. We leave signs behind through our different lives to remember why. And if we're born blind, we still learn and still need to decide if we want not to be one or to be multiple.
Yeah, if we're blind, we still learn. I feel like I learned something new from each and every poet here. I mean, like, every week I learned something new. Let's give it up for Mano one more time. All right. And before our next poet, I'd like us to all stand up. All right, stretch your arms up, and then shake it out, and then sit back down. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank all of you for coming here tonight. Much love. Anyway, Mo, come on up here. Give it up for Mo. Come on.
I'm going to break one fast rule because you're not allowed to talk before your poem, but I have a little something to write in to say thank you to Kit. He's been a wonderful muse for me, and if you live long enough, you do polite things like this. So I'm going to set it over here, and it's a little journal, or even if you put your poem in it or something, just to say thank you for the time. Okay, sunlight on a spring day. I do not want your phone call in the morning warning me of clouds to come, even though it is wrapped in the comfort of prayer. And I think you tell me, so I will not be taken by surprise. Yet it doesn't seem a gift, but unsettles this new day before it has a chance to tell me of itself on its own time. I'm determined to keep a solar vigil, sitting in the flowered rocking chair, gliding back and forth in the sun's pale rays. Stubbornness sets the rhythm, and I am silent, except for those moments when I must whisper words of encouragement, and only when I can't help but hear the rain's rude mocking against the roof. I am aware that this or that thing must happen, and wise enough to know that inevitable was granted its name for a reason. Still, I rebel, keeping the shades pinned down, pretending the pewter light which drips through the blinds is feeble only because it is trapped on the far side of the cherry tree, which halts its full assault. Sunlight, brilliant and strong, is a gallant soldier hemmed in behind the blossoms. There is a reason that Muslims bow toward Mecca and Christians under a roughened cross. It is in the kneeling and bending that the power, electric and surging, comes. Yielding without restraint to an unknown known allows the predictable to soothe in long, unbroken, silky strands. If dreary sameness is all that I can hope for today, I will retreat to my down comforter, staying far longer than is proper. I pull my knees tight against my chest. Ah, yes, there it is again, that supplicant's pose. Yet I do not pray. In its place, this cocoon becomes a playground. My mind, a cardboard cigar box of possibilities reserved for a day such as this. I daydream of tsunami sunlight smashing the window glass, shards of light lifting me up and away, rushing me down the hall, bursting through the door, carrying me out as if a stolen baby. At last, I will be set down, soothed and rested in feathery grass, surrounded by the most perfect summer day. I will walk my garden path, picking yolk yellow daisies, plump roses, and fragrant peonies to arrange and rearrange in that pretty prism vase I've saved for these magical days. I will carry it, water droplets clinging and sparkling, from the sink and place it by the window to settle into the warmth. My thankful offering to the sunlight, a much awaited sojourner in my home.
I don't think I hear the word sojourner enough in my life. Let's give it up for Mo one more time. All right. Mary Kate, come on up to the stage. Enter through the coaching slot. Give it up. Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
Wow, this mic is the perfect height. I'm going to break a rule too. I would like to start with a tribute to my grandmother who passed away during this year, and she was the first person who taught me a poem by heart, and it's very appropriate to dedicate to her. It went like this: "Come, little leaves," said the wind one day, "over the meadow with me and play. Put on your dresses. Put on your dresses of red and gold, for the summer is gone and the days grow cold." I think it's Eugene Field. I'm not 100% sure. The rest is me. What is it that makes this a safe space? Let's think about that. What makes this space feel safe?
safe for Native people, safe for women, safe for people of faith, safe for people of color, for brash young men, for aging hippies, for wounded vets. What makes it safe for queers and dykes and kinky bastards? Safe to speak the truth, safe to take a risk, safe to bare your soul. This is no joke. Poetry is no joke. Our poetry reading is no joke. Our sense of safety, our sense of freedom, our warm welcome. Come into the circle and speak the truth. Take a risk. Bare your soul. Out of love, we create this safe space. Out of love, we welcome you in. Out of love, we honor the spark of the divine in your art. And this is no joke. Rock me, tangled in your undulating arms. Hold me, a captive of your scent, your sound. Speak to me of mysteries inhabiting your heart. Let me see your lovely liquid soul. Take me when you cast away from continent and coast. Surround me with your subtle, salty squeeze. Teach me all I need to know of solitude and surety. Reveal to me a deeper, darker dream.
I say you have about maybe a minute and a half.
Okay. The brazen women of solstice stand naked in the meadow, their petticoats of red and gold discarded at their feet. They do not fear winter. Indeed, they reach plaintively toward passing clouds, inviting the change of season, extending fingers of new growth, welcoming the attention of storms. That self-same force which nips their buds and prunes them mercilessly, which rips and rends, which cracks and crushes, is that which fosters their fertile power, that which bears the quenching dew. Why then do they seem to quake with terror as the wind thrusts into them? Perhaps they quiver with anticipation for the excitement of the wind's rough assault, knowing as they do that the sweet cradle of sleep waits in the afterglow. Okay, let's do this one then.
All right.
This one I wrote for this poetry reading.
Okay.
It was a sausage fest, they said dismissively. A male-dominated, hard-edged, nose-to-the-grindstone sort of event. A shout, a curse, a jackbooted rant, an in-your-face, stripped-down tinderbox of expletives. A forceful torrent throwing off decades of imposed civility. A throbbing, virile romp. An explosion of creamy, well-aimed words. The sort of poetry reading that never calls you in the morning.
Oh, man.
It was a sausage fest, they said, almost as if they didn't even like sausage.
Oh, man. I'm okay with sausage. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, let's give it up for Mary. Mary Kate. Ah! Seriously, that was hilarious at the end. All right, come on up here, Anna. All right, enjoy through the poetry slide.
me, how I mistreat my world/self, those who include themselves in here. I want to tell everyone how I feel, how we are, I, and the inclusive. So instead of periods, I imagine some novelist has good remarks. Don't look at strangers for too long. You may think you're strange. Tell me about it. I feel rushed. Mom says not to feel such a way. Dang, we are so plush. Let dang gone minds rich rivers, rushing streams. So colorful it seems. Friends with backpacks and bikes. Dear me. Dear me, I want to make an argument well enough for myself. Dear God, are there any arguments? What is an argument? Love, Anna. So how many questions may I ask before they realize I have the answers just too average to state them? Miley Cyrus, shut up. TV, quiet your box vibrations. The only ones I want to feel is vibrating between my legs is strings. Tonight is the harp. Zebra stripes channel like cat safari walk, so poetry goes. No crowd today. Very lively. All right. Is this Spanish? You know, we'll find it. All right, so let's start here. Earth is not green if it can be brown. At some time, what say? Speak another language and want to, not seen insane. Despite not putting in any effort, I ate my friend to sleep, and boy, she slept. Often I imagine as a girl, despite the large fungus growing off their pelvis. Well, no, we wouldn't want that. It is either take a break from current slow-paced life or slow it down later just to quicken it. I'm not shy also, not outspoken, can't wait to have a snack break. Walk like you're a gold mine in your backyard, Maya Angelou said, relaxing my shoulders. Don't worry, I love to relax on the bus because it is insomnically less frantic than the train. As far as I am concerned, plants and rose are all I eat, and eat fruit dreams and dream of fruit dreams. Don't do it, you're already passionate, so do it. To specialize or not to be specific, and to be general, average, mean. The only thing that is dying are the bees. Ask, play, and tempt, and don't be scared, or do be scared. Listen to what your mom said, or else your chubby, vain body will suffer her consequences. Touch me. How do I remember that I went to like to be touched just a little and shut up? I know there are things, but often loners just get some in the way. Dang, am I Shakespeare yet? To write with my own two hands or with someone else's would be completely insane if I were to kick it in my ass. The less I want to wear, the greater. I become symbolic relationship. You'll laugh a lot and quality is not enough. Let it go. And hollow if it goes. No more there then is something off out in my childhood. And Pat's, maybe Susanna are falling different sprouts. As sprout in shoes or barefoot in chemistry, I often get a spectacle of myself. Just how life is at the best. Pubes and all.
Words of wisdom from Anna. start doing that thing with your hands. You know the thing. Jacob!
Yeah!
Do the thing for Jacob, you know. Thing, you know, it's not like this. Oh.
Clap.
Clap, damn you! Bless you!
Okay, you're gonna give me a 30-second reminder when there's 30 seconds left, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you. Those mental weathered journey, mental pathic coal. Off tether, super nothing. I'm in it, a minute. Damn it, better forget it, and all, and it ripped on the road dick. Had a nut, and it's alright, interrupted in Ridgecrest, in run, in the lot, and ran, cut bistro. I'm on to the room now, so rustic. If I tripped, yo, Joe, telepathic in the third yo, you ever national Medford, walking to Mephin, and nothing enough for Gnostic, and Joel Lockbox for a stick of all Druetta, brought a dick, and right, and record, cute a sight, on kit. That was one of them. X-Link. Zion load true. You will be on Leslie. It is Rick how much digestion, on how much that just has reverberated on its own courthouse. On internode, the whole internodal, it's corpuscles, on corpuscles. 810, rebabe it, and off on real, it's on to you, you're nothing, top it till some drive sunder, some toast, so my toes on raft, cheer, jerker, no reason, its own reason. 810, read babe, it's on, off, it's real, on corpus reasons for it, and you babe it. 810, it's still some dread, for some toast on so your babe. 810 real babe, it's on off on Rio on corpus dries sundered sun dried, it has so lately on it race on trading in Ontario. Are you back in the rare DM rarity? Him often lick stick on Tico truck on Kiko. I'm sorry, I'm on Sarah. Unreal and man to organize a ride, and on the router they arrive in Kennet men, and Kennet can damn it. Batman still stand in on Randall Man and killed, ran home on you lots on real. Tell it toes on return, onto it, on into the rear, on tell it has two, on ruckus two, on another two, period. Came up Connect ride, it came too much. On its talent, and it has to sound out each of these vessels, and it has to sound out each of these vast souls, vast schools, so on did each of those so, and you so. Yeah, that's how much time do we use? Okay. What'd you say?
It's another minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Pistoned out, walk, breading fountains as lesser persona, wobble as my cast litters and ritters and bilgens and smoothies on my bumpy tub. My ex-wife, me beau, androgen the beau, Taihan tabo, can andabble the ratter and cool me. I bet halves of y'all's sacred matrices are quantifiable and last experienced based and not white flag based, perpetuate pseudo fame, median between ruptured upbringing and what we want to fuck op on if we want to cuff lock rattle to free, get the same thing over and over again in the first place. Why had frowning begin as a result of getting the same thing over and over in the first place?
Hold on, I got a question for you. What do you call that style of poetry you just did?
It's like, because I feel like I was just like on this Dadaist trip into
No, it's
like
not.
this
Fuck Dada, man.
real
It's
interesting.
not Dada.
Exactly. See though, it's very, very unique, and I really like it. And I think you should all like it too. All right. These things are dangerous. Anyway, yes. Andrew, the Reverend Andrew Gonzalez, come through the poetry slot.
Can I get an amen? Fuck no! Give me a hallelujah! What I told Darwin once. I say bravo to all that is change, and passionately greet moments as they extend past the past and into what is in right here. Zen in right here. It's all right there in the mirror of you, aging in front of yourself, the world falling apart with your body. It's all right. It's all right. There you go, being old again. Have you forgotten the exchange of knowledge was simplicity for complexity? So if you would be simple once more, you'd complexly argue the value of that ability. It all goes out the window. The world is unstable, but perhaps not the equation, like a table that is set to be torn apart and put back together again. This being that is changing. So Zen means be, but Tao means flow. In evolution, you do not see the end, but what has been and the beginnings. Therefore, conclusions are always mysteries, and we die on a cliffhanger, waiting for a resolution that never comes. As the kingdom of God passes by us in our sleep, and Lucifer awaits an hour in our soul, it is good to let go of your ego. Zen means be, but it's difficult to be when you got shit to do and places to go to be. So when letting go of ego, you'll have to let some of this go as well. It is a practice because the human mind is a porous creature that easily absorbs all sorts of bad odors from people. Mostly, we like to think too much of ourselves. It's not a mandate, but it's the best humanly possible philosophy to mate with. The idea that we are held together by love and the beauty of change is that it is an invitation to love anew. The two evolve together. Love and change like be and become. A process so complex and yet so simple. The cosmic animals we are speaking of. Capital truth in all lower cases, but as authoritative as it gets, to measure a bow of intellect, the treasure held beyond our grasp, but freely given to those who ask. Peace, peace, I speak of peace. A decision I think anyone can make, to not only accept death,
but revel in the possibilities it creates. As we procreate a mess on the dinosaur's resting place, then since evolution is nature's protest, I resist what won't let me be. Then when death enters upon the existential dance floor of my body, I will cry out from the audience, bravo, 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 and praise the end unendingly. It's all right. It's all right.
Woo!
Thank you.
Oh, we need 2 minutes. Oh, 3 minutes to spare. Oh man. Bravo.
Andrew.
Bravo. 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 Let's give it up for the Reverend Andrew. Yes, can I get an almond? I guess not. All right. Joshua Mertz. Yes, we are into the nitty gritty. We're almost to the end. Is this your first time?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, give him some extra love.
Yeah. The Virgin Joshua. I'm new to Eugene, and I was hoping that there would be a lot of poetry here. There's like one place, thank God I found it.
Oh yeah, the best of them all.
Now, I winkled my way into this by saying I would do 5 limericks. I'm actually thinking of 4 limericks and a eulogy. You'll love it. The word ecdesiast. Anyone out there know the word ecdesiast? Comes from the Greek ecdesis, to shed one's skin. It means a stripper.
Okay.
So a friend of mine had a friend of mine is a stripper, and I wrote these ecdesiast limericks for him. There once was a happy ecdesiast whose job made her mom feel the queasiest. But mom, she'd explain, it causes no pain, and the tips that I get are the easiest. And my friend Mike wrote this. Well, actually, I wrote it with him. There once was a dirty ecdesiast whose armpits were known as the cheesiest. Said the boss of the club, if she won't use the tub, she'll dance by the door where it's breeziest. With a head cold, the sick young ecdesiast soon found that her act was the sneeziest. She made her at shoes wearing only her shoes, and found that her tips were the measliest. And then there's one that doesn't have the word ecdesiast in it, but it goes like this. There once was a wrinkled old stripper, so old she was nicknamed the Gipper. She was long in the tooth and far from her youth, and scared off many a tipper. Now, I was on a poetry group, and if you remember Pablo Neruda, they thought he was poisoned, so they were going to exhume his body and do medical tests. And my friend said, "Oh, that's right, Pablo Neruda getting exhumed," and they wrote these deeply beautiful, heartfelt poems to them. And I wrote, I dig Neruda's bones. I feel that my poems will always be cruder than that dead famous poet named Pablo Neruda. His verses were plentiful and surrealistic, and his imagery haunting and somnambulistic. An ambassador once to the United Nations, he must surely have sampled 100 libations, and eaten of figs, and sang with the moon, and danced with the ladies from midnight to noon. Well, the poet is dead now, and not soon forgotten, and his poetry lives, though his body is rotten. And the earth drinks the soul of that Chilean Buddha, that dead famous poet, named Pablo Neruda.
Oh my goodness. Liver. And Pablo Neruda. What a treat. Ah, thank you, Joshua. Oh my. Oh my.
we are at the end of our whole show, which means, oh, I know, but there'll be next week.
Yeah.
There will be. There really will.
Now that James is here.
Now that I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm not ready.
It's okay. You've got plenty of time. Phil. Hey, hand me my notepad, my clipboard. All right.
Any announcements?
Any announcements? I can announce this much. I was ready, and you better believe I brought the teacher fresh apple cores. Got a problem with how I do breakfast? I earn these stars from the endless pancakes and bacon grease. Hand in the pan man, pan in the hand man, hand in the blender, hand in the engine. Fingers on the grease. What did it mean? It meant I was the king of breakfast. It meant I gargled cream of wheat before I got in fights. It meant I was hot. I was on fire. I wanted the burns. Those damn millet kids. They opened my mind and I opened their eyes. And then I opened their mouths with pliers. That is why I was expelled from the school of hard knocks. I was too twisted. After the accident that morning with the blender, never mind that. Karen, are you almost ready? What do you want here?
I'll take the mic in my hand.
Okay, here, I can hand that to you.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Here, hold on. You're on,
Yeah.
You're in.
I have to make a disclaimer before I do. Lots of you people don't know me. I close the show almost every month. My name is Rude, basically, because that's the name I gave myself recently. But the disclaimer is going to take a second. It's my ego, and I think it needs to be balanced. A little bit more love, a little more compassion, and a lot more understanding. And what I want to say. I would like to. I'm going to do an improv poem like I always. So let me see what I'm going to say. In the light, fantastic. The light that I bear with inclusive eyes. The purest of the universe is open. Her sky eyes are tie-dye between my own. And her hair, the vulva that hid my soul. The universe is a woman, and perhaps it is not. I don't know where I belong, and I don't know where I actually stand, and I think if I was swallowed up to me again, I'd be aloof by this moment. Tie-dyed, yes. I'm actually trying to break the hair that parts the universe. Each hair that includes the birth of each star that includes each one of us, each sand grain at my feet, I wander, and yet as I extend my toes, the universe opens wide within my mind, and yet I look at you. And I demeaned you. I looked at you, and in my despair, my jealousy, and the universe, and I said, please forgive me. I could not stand the pain I exuded on you, the pain I spit on you because I was jealous that you were being acknowledged. As if I had to stand in the shadows of myself. and watch you walk by with your head high and proud of you. My head beneath the ground and my wandering soul, the dirt and the mud that I created. I looked at you and I did look at you, said to myself, I am a better poet than you, but that is not true. Not true, and I know it is not true.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I mean, I really judged your poetry because it sounded childish.
Huh.
Now, I was a poet when I was 6 years old, and I'm a poet now.
That's right.
But I cannot compare that poem that I wrote with 6 today, and yet I judged your poetry. I said, that is not good poetry. I told her to her face, I said. And I know she walked away, brokenhearted, because she looked up to me, and I judged her. So the universe and its extending values, its fingers like some sort of hand like vagina could open tonight and actually say, come within, be born again. The flesh is melting and time is running out like those sand-like fingers that dance across the universes. I was lonely, I was sad, I was defeated, blinded by my own misgivings, by my own judgments, and the fact that I rendered that thought to you, that I excluded you, that I banned you, because I did not meet your measures in my measures of you. So, I'm naked. I feel unwanted. Someone walked away tonight. And although it meant not me, maybe, but the thing is, I have to forgive. And forgiveness is perhaps the most important, very, very most important thing in my life right now. That I actually say it was wrong, but I felt that I was better. And how can I feel better when I feel so worse all the time about myself?
That's right.
I mean, why should I climb out of this mud pit,
Yeah,
this mire of self-hatred, only to fall flat on my face again? And yet, I can't make it up to this person who I hurt with malice and vicious words of jealousy. Tonight I heard other poets, and yet I heard my own head spinning. My head spun and tried to weave out the ways that I had done the wrong. I heard the poems and I tried not to compare my words to your words, your deeds to my deeds.
Right.
I cannot judge. I must be relieved of this mindless ego, this selfishness that includes me in a game of sheltered dreams, mad delusions, awesomeness, and rendered madness. I cannot judge. I cannot compare. I cannot even slight the slightest of you, whoever you may be outside of me and you. And yet the universe, she opens her loving room to me tonight. To climb back inside and be born once again.
Yeah.
That could have been a lot worse.
Oh, no.
Wow. Yeah, you came on.
That's a Bowie finish, man.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
There
There we go.
I've only been playing 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like 6.
Thank you, everyone. I hope to see all your lovely faces and more next week at Page 2 Poetry, as hosted by me, James Otter, the man, the myth, the monkey farm virgin. Anyway, see y'all later.
Emily, you didn't read tonight. You're making a beautiful blanket or something? Nice. You guys are together now, huh? Nice.